Welcome everybody to one more episode of Road Conversations, and I'm excited. Every time I say it, I'm excited, but I mean, how are you not going to be excited when you get to build a platform and you get to meet people like you, Ercel Watson?
Yes, sir.
And honestly, I'm grateful that you are here. I'm excited for this conversation that is not scripted. For all of you out there that you guys know, none of our podcasts are scripted. We don't have a set platform that we got to follow for these conversations. It's truly organic.
Yeah.
And let me read you guys who I'm sitting with, because you guys are going to love this gentleman. I want to say local to Riverside, but you weren't born in Riverside. You weren't born in Cali, which we're going to talk about that right now. But let me introduce you guys to Ercel. Ercel Watson II is a storyteller, speaker, filmmaker, and an advocate for heart-first change. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, he spent time traveling after high school before studying English and theater in college. After graduating, he helped launch a startup with his best friend before eventually stepping into the world of stand-up comedy, where he spent over a decade on the road opening for legends like, dude, that's insane, Larry the Cable Guy, I know him, Billy Bellamy, Charlie Murphy, who's not gonna know Charlie Murphy, and Tracy Morgan. That is awesome. But as a filmmaker, Ercel's journey began behind the camera at his local church, capturing moments, testimonies, and lives that matter. That simple act of service grew into a calling that is taking him across the globe, from Korea to Thailand, Mexico, Canada, and as far as Australia. Through his lens, he's helped bring to life the stories of the unknown, the overlooked, and the nearly forgotten. People who may never have the platform, but whose voices deserve to be heard. For Ercel, creating isn't about content, it's about connecting. Every frame, every story is a chance to honor someone's truth. But behind the scenes, Ercel was fighting a battle of his own. At over 400 pounds, he struggled with his health, self-image, and identity. And while diets and disciplines came and they went out, nothing truly shifted until he began to heal. What's more important is his heart. And that is what we all need to understand. When we put our heart with God, everything begins to heal. But now he's lost over 200 pounds. Ercel has dedicated his life to helping others find their way back to themselves. His richest asset isn't his bank account, it's people. His deep connections with others and his passions to see them live their lives is what drives him every single day. Whether he's speaking or creating content or walking alongside someone ready for change, Ercel is all about one thing, and that is helping people believe in what is possible. Ercel, brother, thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting to come here today. And I want to start with serving, because what you're talking to me in your bio, brother, is you want to dedicate your life to serve others. And obviously, being in business, a lot of entrepreneurs, they tend to forget why we go in business. We tend to get distracted with the shiny objects, with, I want to have the nice life, I want to have the money, I want to have the cars. It's everything that we're fed in the social media that we get to see right now. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but it has to be done. That cannot be the reason why we want to build a business. To me, is the reason why I'm in business is because I love to serve others. But you, my friend, you are serving others not only in business, through your company. Help me remember the name of the company.
SoCal Video Creations.
SoCal Video Creations, but it's your life, your testimony. Yeah. What was the moment from going from 400 pounds that you dropped 200 pounds? Yeah. When did it become about, let me serve somebody else that is probably going through the same struggle?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, thank you, bro.
Thank you,
Tony,
dude.
seriously. So real quick, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm in the stories. I'm trying to find my gym crushes, and
I came along.
And here comes this guy walking down my running path, and I'm like, "Who's this dude going down Victoria on the path that has given me the most joy and pain?" And so, and I didn't even hear what I just saw where you were, and I clicked visit the profile, and then I immediately see one of my best friends, like 3 of my best friends follow you, right? And I'm like, okay, I got to know who this guy is, because if my boys follow this guy, I've got to follow this guy. So I clicked follow, and literally like within 3 days, maybe a week, we're sitting face to face having lunch.
Yeah, we went to Morena.
It was super, and I'm just like, yo, this guy. So first of all, thank you for just not only inviting me here, but just thank you for being so generous with your time to a stranger. You took me to lunch. You took me to it was a delicious cheat meal. It was worth
was a good
every
one.
it was so
Every
delicious.
calorie
oh my
was
gosh,
worth it.
It was amazing.
We skipped dessert though.
We
did
did.
good.
Trust me, I was I'm always like, of course I want dessert. We skipped dessert, but seriously, I really appreciate the fact that you have been so open and hospitable, because I feel like that's an energy that is missed. I feel the digital space has kind of limited real connection.
True.
We're analog beings.
But that's what social media should be. Is social media, not stay in your room media and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And when you don't understand the power of social media, it's not building followers, it's not building likes, it's building relationships. And the same goes to you, dude, because if we think about the whole social media space, you have over 14,000 followers on your social media. And I'm like, I'm just going to shoot my shot. Like, you added me, and I'm like, let me text this guy. Let me send him a message. To me, as I'm thinking, he's probably never going to message me back. He's probably got a bunch of things to do. I'm like, oh, well. So I'm sending him the message, and you reply.
Yeah.
And it's you. You don't have a whole team that is managing your messages. And then I ask you, hey, brother, I love to go out to eat. You want to go and have lunch? And you say yes. So the same thing that you're saying, I'm on the other side. You know, it's like sometimes when you're texting the one person that you like, you're like, oh, he replied to me. It's like,
funny guy.
you know, I had the Star Trek moment. It's like, oh, he actually replied. And I told my wife, hey, babe, I'm actually going to go have lunch with this guy. And I was showing him your feed. It's like, how did he drop so much weight? Like, she told me, can you please ask him, how do I do? I'm like, all right, I'll make sure to ask him, babe. But then we go and we see the Morenas right here down the street.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like I've had known you for a long
100%.
time. It's like
100%.
it was like, you know how you have those buddies that you stop talking to them for years, but then you sit down with them and it's like you pick up right where you left.
Yeah.
That is what you've allowed me to get to know you.
Man,
you're not
dope.
putting a facade. You're not just pretending to be a social media influencer. It's yourself, Watson. And thank you for being you. Thank you for letting me get to know the real person, for being open to build a relationship.
100%.
Thank you for coming here, brother. And there's so much that you have to share to the world, honestly. There really is. But it goes to you too, man. Thank you for using the platform the way it should be used. Thank you for opening up for this relationship. So let's just see what God puts into our path to be able to share for somebody else, man.
It's funny. So to answer your question, my page used to be all photos and video. It was sunsets. It was visual. And when I got on my health journey, maybe 6 months into it, a friend of mine was like, yo, you're getting some results. We want to see what you're doing. So I started adding little pieces of content here and there. And then somebody reached out to me and was like, yo, dude, I remember this video that you posted. It inspired me, and I've lost 30 pounds. And I'm like, what? And this is maybe the first 6 to 8 months into my journey. So I'm maybe 50 pounds down at this point. So I'm still a big boy. And the idea that someone can look at me who's still like at the beginning of their journey and get inspired to take action, I was like, what? Backstory was like when I was doing stand-up, my platform jokes, even though like back then I didn't admit it, but now I realize like majority of my jokes were based on the fact that I was overweight.
Okay.
And based on the fact that I was black.
Okay.
Those are kind of like the two main like themes that appeared. And even though it wasn't necessarily blatant, they were always implied.
Okay.
And I went back and watched some of my old sets. I was like, wow, like I was really the fat guy on stage. And I used to celebrate the idea that this is who I'm gonna be forever. This is it. So let me make the most of it. Girl, you ain't never lived until you've been with a man that can fold out into a couch. Come on, girl. And it was just like, and it was funny, and it was hilarious. Like, girl, how many guys can fold out into a futon? Let's go, baby, come on. But the realization of, wow, like I planted these seeds that were manifesting. I was getting bigger and bigger and healthier. And then all my fat friends like started dying. And so it's like the idea that I'm somehow influencing someone to get healthy blew my mind.
Wow.
It absolutely destroyed the perception of myself of who I could be for people.
You know, let me, before I forget this, that you just said something that triggered a thought, is your words were planting the seed and they were manifesting.
Yeah.
We bring it back down to the book, the greatest book on earth.
Yeah.
In the beginning there was the Word, and then the Word became the flesh.
Flesh and dwelt among us, bro.
And what happens here is our words become us.
Yep.
If we don't be careful on what we are
Yeah.
saying, then we become what we speak.
Yeah.
If you put it back into the business perspective, imagine if I'm the one telling people I'm going to do this, 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 and that, and I never do it, then my words are not backing up. My words are not going to become the flesh.
Yeah.
Because I will not be able to back them up.
Yeah.
So the importance of using the right words, it's everything.
100%.
It's everything, brother. And you figured that one out on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer manifesting that personality.
Yeah.
But now is the other side is like I asked you earlier, how did you get to that point?
Yeah.
How did Ercel get to be over 400 pounds?
Yeah. Time and denial.
Okay.
I think like this is the craziest thing I'm experiencing now. I look at pictures of myself and it's just like, wow, I didn't realize I was that big. Because in your head, you're like, it's not that bad. And you're used to it. You see it every day. And as much as you may not love it, like it, or enjoy it, it's normal to you. So you don't see how bad it is. But looking back, I'm like, holy cow, like I get it now. I was saying it's not that bad. I'm okay, which was a total lie. But that's what allows you to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not that bad. I'll just put a Band-Aid on this. But it's like, bro, there's a knife wound there. You're missing a finger. A Band-Aid is doing nothing to help that blood that's still spewing out of the gash that where your finger used to be. And that's how I was living my life. And it's one of those things where you also keep people at a distance.
True.
So it's like whenever someone would bring up, hey, bro, do you need to eat the whole pizza right now? All right, cool. I'll put the pizza away until you leave, then I'll go back and finish it, and then we're never eating together again because I can't have you get in the way of my bad habits.
Okay.
You're against me.
Did you experience that a couple of times?
A lot.
People...
Like my family. When I moved out of my home, we were living in Michigan. I started going to school in Nebraska. Moved out to Nebraska. I got my first actual apartment, my own place, not a dorm, not mom's basement, not the garage I converted, an actual place of my own.
Okay.
My first thought wasn't, now I can create my own life. Now I can live by my own schedule. It wasn't I can invite women over. No, it was nothing. It was literally, now I can eat as much as I want, whenever I want, and no one can say anything about it.
Oh.
That was what I looked forward to. That was the freedom I was embracing. And so I posted a video. It was like, most fat people eat late and alone because what we really want to do, we know if we do it in front of you, you're going to be like, what are you doing? This is disgusting how much food you've consumed in this one meal. So we find ourselves, I found myself in solitude like this. Became an amazing chef, perfected these, because when you cook all day and eat all day, it's gonna get better.
Oh yeah.
So how you get there, you push people away that care, you attach yourself to people who do the same thing, and you build those two separate worlds.
I see.
You become a great actor. Oh, I've had enough. I'm full. Nah, we just starting. But it's like, I'm gonna do the rest of this at home where there's no judgment. And then you add a decade to that. You add 2 decades to that. And over time, next thing you know, the waist goes from 40 inches to 60 inches to 68 inches. The shirt size goes from 2X to 7X. The daily medication goes from vitamin C and garlic pills to blood pressure medication. And because it's this gradual thing that happens, it feels normal. And before you know it, there's this world you're existing in where you're really not existing. You're just waking up, living to eat. Somebody's
watching this podcast is probably going through the similar situation that you've already been to. Our life is our testimony for who we are right now today.
Yeah.
What would be the message that you would tell that person looking at the camera that is going through what you've gone through?
You are going to die. And you're gonna and your family is gonna be at the funeral and they're gonna be like, well, he was funny, but no one's gonna be shocked. No one's gonna be surprised. They're gonna be awkwardly standing there thinking one thing, how did he fit in the casket? And well, we knew this day was gonna come. Because that's the sad reality that no one wants to talk about. No one wants to talk about the actual reality that you are gonna die, bro. And here's the truth: we're all gonna die. So let me be very clear. I'm not disillusioned to think getting in shape is gonna prevent the inevitable. True. Death is on the way.
True.
But it's like, how do you want to die? Like, how do you want to die? And I had to ask myself, like, I've lost friends who were younger than me. I've lost friends who are my age, and it's like, how did they die? One of my boys, like the guy that would and it gets me so pissed off because it's like my boy died missing a leg, miserable, lonely, ashamed of himself. He died that way, and I'm like, He used to DM me like, bro, I don't know what to do, man. And here's the context. We were both college classmates. We were both the big boys. We were both connected because we had this, like, most fat people are in this private fraternity with each other. We used to like, you get it, right? That was our connection. College ends and he loses a bunch of weight. And I'm like, bro, how'd you do it? He's like, Erz, you ready? Here's the most boring answer. I started watching my calories. I started moving more. There's no magic pill. Just do the work and it'll work. Like, so he was essentially a big influence on when I started my journey. Let me just do what JB did.
Okay.
Let me not complicate this. There got a point in his life where, here's what happened. He lost a bunch of weight, got healthy, got married, had a kid, and was living the life he wanted. And somewhere along the way, fell off and got too discouraged to get back on. And our messages were like, bro, how are you doing it? And I'm like, I'm doing what you told me to do. Like, how am I getting here?
So he lost the weight.
He lost it, gained it back.
Okay.
And then believed he couldn't pull it back off again. And we would exchange these conversations and I would be all nice. Come on, bro, you can do it. This is gonna be great. And then his wife announces that he's dead. And then when the details come about how his life was when he passed, I'm like, what? And I can't lie, it still pisses me off that you can't prevent death, but you can influence how you die.
How you die, 100%.
And so when I talk to people of my size, I'm like, look, here's the reality of it. This is like, especially if you're over 40 and you're carrying 75, 100 pounds on your body extra, let's not be nice anymore. Because now you're jeopardizing what you've created. Like, if there are people that depend on you, if there's a kid that looks up to you, you owe it to that kid you created. And when you're gone, what are they gonna think? And so it's like the harsh reality is you're now juggling with your life in a very real way.
I see.
And it is to me life and death. Like, COVID came through, bro. I was at my heaviest. And COVID came through and took out all my fat friends that got it. Except one. Amber's still with us. Everybody else, dunzo. And it's like, wow, this is real. And the reality was, I'm next. Like, that's what I would tell. Honestly, someone that's on the fence, that's not sure if they should take care of their health. The sad reality is you're next. It's a sad matter of time.
Now,
and
sorry to interrupt you,
no.
But how do you see it right now with all of these pharmaceutical drugs? You got Ozempic, you have all these different types of drugs that keep on popping up. Now you're starting to see some side effects coming up.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever have to resource to that?
I did. Look, I took Ozempic for 2 years ago. I did a 12-week run of Ozempic, right? Took it, injected every week, lost 30-some pounds, right?
Okay.
It worked. The moment I got off of it, I gained it all back because I didn't understand how to use it. So I would tell, if folks need to drop some pounds, get on it. The catch is you also need to restructure yourself. Ozempic works. It takes your appetite away.
Okay.
There were days that would pass, I'd forget to eat because I wasn't hungry, right? I had to actually create a chart, eat. You need to fuel.
Okay.
So it almost was like it allows you to reset your lifestyle. It allows you to create good habits. And if you stay dedicated, you don't need to rely on it for the rest of your life. I don't think drugs like Ozempic should be taken forever because you don't have to take it forever. But if you need some fast track to feel motivated and to get some relief in your waist, do it. Because it's like at the end of the day, I think the person that's that large has to approach this thing aggressively. And I think Ozempic allows people to experience results quickly.
Okay.
And to me, it wasn't until I got results that I started no longer relying on. Well, it was like when the results came, that's really when the motivation.
I was just about to ask.
Because now it's
like, results,
yo,
you get excited. I'm like, oh, okay, let me keep this going.
Forget it.
Let me keep it going.
So it's like, to me, it's like, and I think fat folk, the mindset of the victim is, I'm always catching losses.
Okay.
Life has been dealing me a losing hand. So my thing is like, yo, collect some wins. If you're in your 40s and you have it and you're that heavy, chances are you've attempted to diet. You made the attempt and you've caught a bunch of L's.
Right.
Let's get some W's in the bank.
I see what you're saying. That
Let's
makes
get you
total
on the
sense.
let's get you experiencing a win. And then let's give you some tools to continue a winning life beyond the need for the injection. But if it starts there, cool. Like, I know bodybuilder friends are like, bro, when I'm about to train for a bodybuilder competition, best believe I'm taking Ozempic because I know it's going to help me drop fat as I'm toning my body.
Toning up,
but it's like, if you use it as a tool. It can't be the
only way that you make it happen. So now you've dropped how much? Like 200?
I've dropped 200. Officially, it's 204 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think like we were talking about it earlier, we get fat because of what we put in our body.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm guilty of it. You put me some tacos in front, I'm gonna kill 6, 7, maybe I'm gonna go after 9, and then I'm gonna go and get the dessert. But for the same person that you just gave the message, if you don't stop, there's also good news. It can be done.
Yeah.
You know, so what would be the same message that you give to that person? Okay, this is the blueprint that you have followed, that it has helped you. Give them your blueprint. Let them know.
The blueprint is, I call it, be boring.
Okay.
Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Make sure get as close to 8 hours between those two moments as you can. Start there. Like if I were to start over right now, this is what I do. This is exactly what I do for the next 60 days at least. Okay. Maybe 90. But for at least the next 60 days, this is exactly what I would do. 8 hours of sleep every night. Same bedtime and wake up time 7 days a week.
Okay.
Right? Start there. I would then achieve to try to get let me get a pedometer, let me get at least 8,000 steps a day. If I can get 12, even better. Let me at least get 8,000 steps a day. Let me make sure I'm getting my body weight need for water.
Okay.
Right? And then let me start practicing no more seconds, and let me eliminate sugar. That's all I do. Eat don't change it. Don't focus on food. Focus on the structure and the habits that surround it.
Okay.
Because to me, a diet, like all the diets work. Carnivore, keto, vegan, veggie, like zero carb, counting calories, replacement meals, they work.
Okay.
The flip is you don't have a system designed for your life to make it create results. And to me, the sleep, the water, the movement activates what's happening when you put it into your body. So if you have that, once you have that foundation on lock, then decide, okay, am I going to eat this way? Am I going to do this? Am I going to add a gym workout? But the first 60 to 90 days, keep it like just structure your structure. Build your foundation. I think a lot of times we try to build a foundation we try to build a new house on the same crappy foundation. It's like,
it's gonna fall.
You've got to build that first.
Yeah.
And that's why I think people fall off quickly, because they're trying to create a new life in the same space they're living in. Nope. Let's build from the ground up. So at that, like once you hit the 90-day mark, I guarantee if people do that for 90 days, they're going to lose at least 30 to 50 pounds. Okay. Easy. Because no more seconds means you're not overeating anymore.
That's true.
If your food isn't touching on the plate, your portions are immediately being regulated and controlled. Mm-hmm. Water is pushing things through your body, and movement is getting you moving. And if you're not, and here's one last thing, give yourself at least 2.5 hours after your last meal before bedtime. That way the digestion's done, so when you go to bed, you're getting quality rest, and the food doesn't just sit around and turn to fat. You're gonna drop weight guaranteed. That's the foundation I live on right now. In fact, if you do that, I tell folks, you do that, you'll never gain a pound again. Even if you don't ever lose weight, you'll never get fatter if you live under those rules, guaranteed. And that I think is where we rob ourselves, because here's the problem with diets. Diets and health plans are always looked at as a standpoint of do this thing for 30 days and you'll be fine, versus here's a new way to enter a new lifestyle. This shouldn't end.
It becomes a lifestyle, what you just said.
You know?
It's not about going into a diet, you got to change your lifestyle.
100%. And it's like ramp into a lifestyle and let this be the foundation of your new life. Here are the rules for your new life, and now go build.
You know, I went through certain changes. I'm constantly going through changes, never a change like weight loss like that.
Yeah.
But I've always struggled figuring out who I was. I always had a struggle growing up as a younger brother.
Yeah.
You know, I've always, for the first years of my life, I was a shadow of my brother, because he's my older brother. You know, if you have an older brother, you look up to them, you idolize them. But then I started to think, well, but this is certain things that I don't like about myself. So I started to kind of trying to figure out who really am I? Yeah. Who is Tony? Who is the person that I want to become? What things do I want to do in life for myself? And it's always reinventing myself, but it wasn't until I really came and I said, God, you know what? Like, let me get to know you, because I don't know myself. Yeah. And the minute I started to point my crosshairs into him, I started to see the person in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, I like this person. Yeah. And things that it was hard for me to change before, it became so much easier to change. And now it's a complete different lifestyle. Now I get to, I remember, this is last year, I wanted to wake up at 4 in the morning or 4:30 and go to the gym and do these things. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'm waking up at 6, I'm waking up at 7. And I'm like, why can't I just be that person? And I started praying. I started reading the Bible, and little by little, that person became without me forcing it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we overthink it too much.
100%.
We put ourselves, we put too much pressure on ourselves that we don't allow the beauty that's within us to come and flourish.
Come on, yeah.
And it's just, it became to me the way to say, God, I leave it all in your hands. Show me who I am. And now all of the things that I wanted to do are happening. Yeah. And especially, for example, in one area in the business, you've owned a business for 11 years, dude. How did you start your business? Were you overweight when you started the business? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How was that journey? Not starting a business overweight, but how was your business journey? What were you doing before? Obviously, you did stand-up comedy. Yeah. Was it from stand-up comedy that you went to open up your business? Yeah. How did that transition came?
Yeah, I was doing stand-up, and my weight. This is what I'll say. This is the story I told. The story I would tell folk was, God put on my heart to hang up the microphone. He said, you've done enough. Which is nonsense. Like, why would God give me a gift of humor and a gift of people to hang it up?
Right.
Right? Nonsense. However, there got to a point where I was, at the height of my career, I was in the feature position, which is the second slot. Normally a 35 to 40 minute set. I would get 7 minutes into my set, and I'd be covered in sweat. I'd be out of breath. And it was to the point where now the audience was uncomfortable with what they were seeing. I could tell, like, these folks are not even hearing my jokes because they're concerned about my health, as I should be. The touring comedian lifestyle is one where you get free food, free drinks wherever you go. So you're in space where there's nothing healthy to consume.
Okay.
So you're eating burgers and fries and just fried crap every night, and then everyone wants to buy you a beer. So every day you're just putting trash in your body, right? So I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm on stage huffing and puffing, and it's like, bro, you're still introducing yourself, and you're already out of breath. Got to the point where I couldn't get to the end. So I made up the line, oh, God wants me to focus on other things. And I'm sure, looking back on it, nobody bought it. Mm-hmm. But that was the lie I wanted to project. So I gave up comedy, got a normal job, and ended up moving. I was in North Carolina, ended up moving out to Arizona. Long story short, my best friend plants a church, and I come out to serve. And I'm like, well, what's my role? And he's like, well, here, take the camera and go figure it out. So and backstory, I've been taking pictures since I was 7. My dad, the first gift he gave me was my name. The second major gift he gave me was my camera. My dad's a photographer, and my dad is like my guy, like, and that's his thing. He's a photographer. So like, when I got the camera, he was like, every time you finish a roll, send me your negatives. I want to see what you're doing. Okay. And so I've been capturing images since I can breathe, since I can remember. Video was something that just came naturally because I know how to build an image. And so I started creating videos for church, video announcements, little things like that. And one Sunday, about maybe 6 months into it, my boy Mike came up. He was like, hey, I want to invest in your production company. And I'm like, what production company? He's like, well, you've been struggling to find a job, right? I'm like, yeah, I can't find work out here. He's like, great. You should just start a video production company. And I'm like, bro, how do you know my videos are even going to be good? He's like, we watch them every Sunday at church. We've seen your videos go from terrible to incredible, and I need to get in on this before you blow up and I can't be a part. So he took us out for sushi. We went to Asahi Sushi by Daily Brew. Then we went to Best Buy, and literally he was like, all right, let's get you everything you need to start your company. Man. And from there it was a case of let's go. And luckily at the time, there weren't a lot of people in my ecosystem doing video production. Okay. So I immediately was able to get clients, picked up some clients, and it just started. So it was one of those things where I tell folk, go serve at your local church, because that's where opportunity for your gifts to show up are going to be seen. How are you serving? Yeah. How do you how are you and that's why when you mentioned you do this to serve people, I think the best way to learn how to serve is at your local church. True. That's what I learned that's what I discovered the joy of serving. I used to think serving was a chore. Like, this is stupid. Why would I want to stand in the parking lot and do this? But I realized when you're the new guy coming into a church for the first time, you want to see a smiling face.
That. That's what helped me to find that with the church that we go to. Yeah.
It's like that's the 100%. Most important guy. You're probably not going to meet the lead pastor immediately, but Ercel that's waving with the sign saying "Welcome home." Yeah.
Yeah.
You can know him immediately. So it's like, I got to be that guy. So to me, it like broke the barrier of go serve folk. Now let me be clear. For many, many years, my approach was still very transactional.
Okay.
Very transactional. I'm not interested unless you're buying. The discovery that, well, once people discover that's your motive, the chances are, unless they're also just as transactional as you are, but that just won't work. And it was a discovery of, wait a second, like, it's not about the invoice, it's about the impact. Like, because if I can make an impact and then help you make an impact, you will beg me to invoice you.
Yeah. You won't even have to make a sale anymore. People are just going to simply come to you because they understand that you have the solution for what they need.
100%.
And that's what a lot of people in my industry in insurance is I tell them, like, well, you're always trying to sell it just on the price.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to understand how to articulate the power of the policy other than just what the premium is going to be.
Yeah.
And when you really take the time to find out what that person needs, then you become a consultant and you tell them, you know what, maybe you should change these coverages for that because you no longer have to sell the policy. And people smell the sales. When you just have it in you, people can smell it. And that is one of the parts that I don't like about my business is that having to sell the policy, but it's like, wait a second, I'm not selling. Yeah. You got to educate, but really, you got to care for somebody else. You got to make sure that you provide that person with the product or the service that they're going to need. Yeah. But people don't get that. People, they just want to come in. They want to go out and, you know how many times I get calls and people are just like trying to sell me something. I'm like, oh, dude, at least get to know me. Get trying to find out what can I do or not. But I guess it depends on the stage of life that everybody is. You know, some people are in, they need the money. They need the money. Well, maybe it's just not the right time for you to go to your own business. But if you're going to go get a job, if you want to be in sales, it's finding that balance to make sure that you don't see people with dollar signs. Yeah. I think that is the one thing that I've noticed a lot based on what you're telling me. But it gets to the point that, okay, let me open up. Yeah. Let me listen to somebody. Let me find out who you are. And like you said, you're serving them by listening. Sometimes, it's what I was just talking to Angel. Sometimes the best sell, it won't even be the sell of a policy. Yeah. It'll be you be able to listen to them and you probably provide them with an advice or something that you heard that you connected to your life and that's going to help them. Yeah. And I was just having a conversation with one of my customers, Frank. He just became a customer 3 weeks ago. We're talking about what he needs, another brother in Christ. We start talking about our relationship with God. He started to tell me everything about his past life. And this guy lived a tough life. Yeah. But we became friends. Yeah. And when you start to really serve somebody else, it's like you're not running a business. You're just serving. You're just helping somebody else out, man.
Let me ask you this. Was there a moment where the light switch went off for you or like the discovery of, wait, I'm in the service industry. I'm not in the policy industry. Like, was there a moment that happened where that became the clarity that you experienced or like what was that discovery like?
4 years ago. That's when that happened, 4.5 years ago. Okay. Before my dad was diagnosed with cancer. When I was running the business, my nose was in the business day in and day out. Yeah. And I was just trying to figure out, how do I get the next transaction? How do I get to the next level? How do I get to the next point? I'm going to set up these goals. I'm going to do X amount of calls. That transactional world that a lot of people I get to see online, that they pitch about that all the time. And I kept on making money, but it was never building me wealth. Gotcha. I kept on making money, but I never felt right. I always felt empty. So it's when I said, God, like, what am I missing? Like, what is it that I'm missing here? And the moment of clarity came when I started to have the call. Like, are you done doing things on your own way? I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, and one of the first verses that I came across me, it's Proverbs 3:5-7. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. Seek Him in all your ways and He will guide you in the right path. Do not consider yourself to be wise and walk away from evil. I was always that guy. I thought I knew it all. I thought I had it all done and under control. But yet I was not building relationships with people. I was building transactions. And I started to get really tired of it. And that's when I said, okay, I need to change my ways. I need to do things differently. And that moment that hit me is when I started to hang over all of my pride. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the shot caller. I want to be able to use my life as a purpose instead of a goal-driven life. Yeah. But that is the moment that it hit me. I'm like, listen to people. Yeah. Care for the person that's across the chair with you because all you're looking for is to make the sale. Yeah. I was that guy, dude. I was that guy from 2000, and I established Leto back in 2016. I was that person, I would say 2012, 13, 14, before I even got in insurance, I was in the real estate world. That's when I noticed that industry, I didn't like the show and tell side of it. It's like everybody just one-upping everybody showing up what cars they're driving. Because at that point, real estate was on its peak, right before the market crash of 2006. And I was around that environment, it's like I felt with it. You know, I was money driven, and I would sell pay option arms loans that I should have never sold because, oh man, I'm gonna make this amount of money. I was that guy. But then God adjusted me. It's like, okay, this is not, I didn't give you the talent to be, the gift to be able to speak, to use it for the wrong things. You know, it's like, I meant for you to do different things. So it's like, he took everything away. You're like, okay. But then I found the insurance industry. Okay, so I left insurance, I left the real estate industry, and I found insurance. I liked insurance. Why? Is you actually get to serve somebody with a product that at some point they will need, whether they crash, whether the house burns, all the fires that we just had. And now you have a lot of companies that are going through, not wanting to pay claims, but then some of them are paying the claims. And then you have life insurance. At some point, you're going to need life insurance. So I started to understand the insurance product, but I started to see the big side. I'm like, well, I'm actually helping somebody. I'm not just selling them a piece of a loan just for me to make a commission. But that to me is how I said, okay, if I want to build wealth, if I want to build a legacy, it needs to become about somebody else, not about me. And that is when I realized is I was doing things wrong for a long time. But that's what helped me, dude, to be honest.
That's so good. It's funny you say that because I've discovered it's so nuts. So like when the Altadena fire happened and all the Palisades, everything, our church went out and we helped and we did a drive. We went out and served, and I was like, man, like that was really cool. And I was like, let me just see. Like God has blessed me with this platform. I have these people. Let's just even though I talk about health and stuff, let me just see. So I did a video like, hey, I'm out here in Altadena, yada yada yada. Let's get behind these folk. And folk tuned in. We found a little barbershop in town, my boy's barbershop. Come drop off donations, and people gave donations, and it hit me like, wow, like it is so. It's way difficult for me to say, Tony, I need you to buy this from me. But it's so much easier to say, hey, bro, let's go do this for them.
Yeah.
And when I had that aha moment of, wow, like God gives us influence to connect people. That's the sweet sauce. He's like, that's all. Like, it doesn't matter what the thing you do is. There's people there that he's brought you to connect with other people.
Yeah.
And when I had that discovery, it literally changed two things. It made me more excited about purpose.
Okay.
It's like my goal is not to sell a fitness program at all. My goal is let me motivate you to become better so we can go do something for them.
Okay.
And your weight's getting in the way. That's the guy I'm talking to. Your weight is preventing you from showing up for them. Let's get you ready. But the other flip was people then revere you differently. Ever since that drive, I noticed at the gym now, because I was going after fitness folk, and a lot of my gym friends were connected online. Okay. I discovered that, wow, now our connections got deeper because now we've done something meaningful together. And it was sacrificial for both of us to go help them.
Yeah.
So now it's like we have this inside, not like an inside joke, but it kind of is like this inside thing that we've done together. Like, we'll always have that thing we did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, God, you're such an interesting dude. Like when we get to heaven, I'm telling you, bro, they're gonna be annoyed with me at HR because I'm like, I need to make another point with God. Where can I get this? I've got more questions.
Hey, Jesus, can we go to lunch again?
Can we? I've got questions. I've got a pie chart. I've got my Lord. Okay, I've got this. Because it's so interesting how he designs opportunities for us to connect.
Have you always had this relationship with God?
No.
Have you always been this close to him?
Nope. I was raised in a religious cult.
Okay.
And so the idea of God was this guy that wants you dead. God is more interested in you not making it to heaven than he is sending Christ to die for your sins. Because here's all the things you're going to do to lose your salvation. We would be kids at church and they'd tell stories about the pastor who was driving home and went out to fix the flat tire in the rain, and his wife came out and he said, dang it, get back inside the car. And right then he gets hit by a car, died, cussing at his wife, and he'll never see Jesus. And we're like, what?
Where are you going, dude?
What? And
Don't say that.
I'm like, literally,
That's-
bro. I would be sitting in the chair like I just cussed in my mind 15 times. I'm never gonna get to heaven. He wants me dead. And so it was this. So we feared God, but not in a respectful, humble, loving way. We were scared of Him. And so it wasn't until my best friend got married. We were hanging out, and one of his buddies was like, "Dude, if you were to die right now, can you confidently say the next voice you'd hear would be the voice of God?" And I was like, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, because God, because Jesus, John 3:16. And he said, really? Because I didn't believe that. And I was like, you know what, bro? He opened up scripture. We started going through scripture. And I'll be honest, I don't remember the scriptures he read. Okay. I was still stuck in the question, like, wow, dude, is my relationship this flimsy? And so we go through some scripture. And so I'm like, well, then how do I know I'm saved? How do I know I'm gonna? Because we were also taught you can lose your salvation. Okay. There's not a blessed assurance that Jesus is mine. No. Even though we sing the song every week at church, we don't believe it. So we go through scriptures, and so I'm like, well, bro, like, you're right. Like, I'm pretty sure if I was to die right now, I'd be swimming backwards in a lake of fire. How do I get saved? Well, you just have to accept. So we prayed, and in this little break room at this church office, I get saved, and nothing changed. I got up, I was like, wait a minute. Where are my wings? Wait, God, this is, I want to read
I was expecting something different. Listen to the music, the harps are coming up, my halo.
Bro, I go back home, and my best friend's like, find a local church and go serve. And I was reluctant. And so I went from North Carolina to Arizona, go serve at that church, bro. Was reluctant to serve at that church. Then I came to Riverside. Go serve at. And so when I came to Riverside, my boy was like, "You have to serve. You can't come here if you're not serving. So understand, you're serving." It wasn't until I started serving at my local church that I started experiencing the joy of the Lord.
Your business was born through the church,
bro. We have this saying at our church, like, "You're not going to know everybody, but everybody gets to be known."
Oh.
And the heart is, we go after the one. The same way the prodigal son came home and the dad humiliated himself and ran to that boy and welcomed him home and hugged this pig. And he's like, that's God's love for you. Let's go act that out. And bro, it wasn't until I started like behaving in the way of God that I realized, wow, this is really you happening through me. What?
And when you notice those things, and you see the person that you are, and you see the person that you used to be, I'm like, wow, how did that happen?
But here's the thing, it wasn't even, I'll be honest, God has really been showing up for me in this season. It's really been my weight loss journey. The biggest thing that happens is God enters your heart. And all those things that are broken, bro, like all those, like I've had, so Psalm 139, I love the verse that says, his thoughts about me outnumber sand. That blows my mind, because like when you think about it, if you were to sit down and write all the things you dislike about yourself, you were to take a day and just say, this is everything I hate about me. You could take that list and it would probably end up condensing down to about 20 things. When it all is said and done, there's probably 25 things that you truly dislike about yourself.
Okay.
And you're telling me God's thoughts about me outnumber sand, and I've been limiting my life over 25 things? Whoa. What? So it's like, to me, it's like God's like, bro, you've been living in this terrible hub that doesn't even compare to how much I adore you. Like his thoughts out. Imagine what his words do.
Yeah.
Imagine what his actions do.
Yeah.
And so whenever and even right now I'm getting chills, like, yo, this dude loves me that much. Because I think about it, like if you were to pinch some sand out of a sandbox and I was like, Tony, I'm going to give you whatever you want if you can successfully count what's in the pinch of your finger. You wouldn't get there.
No.
How many you would not be able to count just a pinch of sand in your fingers. And you're telling me the Sahara, you're telling me Arizona, you're telling me every single beach, you're telling me every single sandbox, you're telling me you're telling me all that doesn't compare to his thoughts about me? Yeah. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like whenever I find myself rehearsing these things I've written about myself. I have to remind myself, his thoughts outnumber sand, bro. Don't get caught up in the mix.
Yeah.
And that was the discovery, and I feel like that's really the discovery that shifted my trajectory to him.
Oh.
And I was like, whenever I start, I'm like, God, why am I thinking this about myself, Lord? Can you give me a different thought, bruh? Can you just lend me some of your thoughts?
Please.
And God like, oh, well,
Download them Wi-Fi.
Bro, and it's
I get what you're saying.
God for me shows up and has showed up in that space of who am I? Identity to me was the key in what cured me. It was my broken heart. I'll tell you, when I was like 8 years old, we lived in Nashville, Tennessee, and the older kids in the neighborhood that I wasn't allowed to play with, they were like, yo, and let me give you context. Our neighborhood was surrounded by woods. So all we did on the weekends was camp in the woods, play in the woods, go hide in the woods, like they were surrounded by tons of trees. Beautiful landscape, adventure time 24/7. There were a group of kids that were just older. My mom was like, they're twice your age. You're 10, they're 15. You're 8, they're 15. You can't, like, they're just not in your age group. You can't play with them. Well, I get invited out by the big kids to go out for a camp out. And I make up this big lie. Mom, can I run away from home tonight? And she's like, what? The way my mom tells this story, she's like, this is the night I discovered my youngest son is my most bravest child. Because I'm like, I want to stay out all night. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, on TV they have these runaway PSAs. And I want just... So she's like, all right. And in her mind, she's like, I didn't know what this kid was up to. But I'm like, all right, whatever.
Let him do it.
So I packed my bag. I'm like, I'm going to be gone all night, Mom. She's like, okay, whatever. And I left. And I walk up the block, walk to their house.
Okay.
And they're in their little backyard woods area camping. And I ended up getting assaulted. I ended up getting raped. I ended up getting, it was the worst experience ever. Coerced, pushed, forced, humiliated, and then thrown out like a piece of trash.
Wow.
And that night I end up hiding in the woods, scared to death, not knowing what to do. I'm like, I can't go home. I'm going to wake Mom and the family up. I'm going to be in trouble. And because I didn't really hang out with those kids, I didn't know their backyards like that.
Right.
I finally, when the sun started to rise, I get home, and my mom was like, I didn't know how. We had to get to church, so it was one of those things where like everything moved so fast that day. I really don't remember, but I just remember being afraid of everybody, bro. Afraid of men. Like that moment really impacted my relationship with my brother, relationship with other dudes. I'm like, I can't trust none of y'all because I'm going to get effed up if I do. And that was also the discovery of, well, where do I feel safe now? The kitchen. Donuts make me feel safe. Eating big bowls of Frosted Flakes make me feel safe. Sandwiches make me feel safe. So that's where I spend all my time, in that safe space. And so it's like, and the discovery was, wow, it's all, my mom, one thing about our house, the fridge was always full until that moment.
Right.
Then it was like, wow, where's all the food going? Ivan, what do you like? Why you eating all the food? Like, food became my comfort. And so for me, it was like, okay, this isn't just a bad habit. This is my coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's like God. So like, it's like for me, and that's why I tell folk, like, you've got to heal your heart first. Whatever has caused, because people don't go to food just because they're bored. There's a comfort there. There's some reason why they find comfort there. Well, what do you need comfort for? So for me, and I'll be honest, for many, many years, I denied it. I lived like in college. I remember when I was in Nebraska, I would have these flashbacks. I'm like, what is this? Let me drink more, smoke more weed and forget about it. And it wasn't until the pandemic that I had to face it. Like, bro, this thing happened to you, dude. It happened, but it didn't happen. That's not who you are. And I'm not going to say it happened for you, but it kind of did, because now you can be the voice for the guy that experienced that as well. Like, yo, it happened to you. It didn't happen. And it happened for you so that you can provide a story of freedom for somebody else to experience. And so for me, it was like addressing that was the tip of the iceberg of, okay, heal that heart. And now these residuals are going to fall into place. Now you can finally address your eating disorder. I'd go on a diet, lose weight, but I'd be miserable because that's my comfort. I can't go to my comfort anymore. I hate this. Now it's like, I don't need that comfort. I've got Christ in my heart. Yeah. And I have a new understanding of who I am. And that in that moment, I'll be honest, like as terrible as it was, I don't want to change it. Because that was my ground zero moment to discover who God can be for me, and now who I get to be for others. And so it's like, heal your heart, rewrite what's going on in your head, and believe it,
And believe it.
and then walk it out.
Yeah.
So
Wow, brother, thank you for sharing that. I've gone through a lot of things. I was also, when I was a child, I was abused. And I've never mentioned that before. This is the first thing I'm saying it. But I've always knew that that's not who I am. I've gone through from what I've gone through because God had already everything planned out. And I don't look back at my past life and I don't fight him. Doctors told my mom I was supposed to be dead at the age of 12. I don't fight that. I'm 36, 37. I'm still here. But the best part is once I said I had enough, back to what I was telling you earlier, when was my moment, like you've asked me, that I realized that I no longer wanted to, I was about serving. It's all my life coming and leading into this moment. Because instead of looking back at what I've gone through and being angry, being upset, and I did gone through the drugs, I've gone through all that, but I was able to overcome it. And I understand now, it's like, he's allowed me to build an amazing testimony. But now it's up to me, just like you're doing right now, is we got to go and we got to reach out to the people. Yeah. And he has built a platform. Yeah. But the most important to me is that purpose now becomes look at a podcast that we're doing right now. And it's trying to talk about business, trying to talk about our personal life. But to me, what I enjoy the most is when we get to talk about him. Yeah. Like what we're doing right now. And I'm aware that probably a lot of people are not going to want to listen to it. But I'm also aware that probably a lot of people that are waiting to listen to this type of message. Yeah. But I'm so blessed that you are brave enough to talk about what happened to you. I'm so blessed that you found what it was that put you to be over 400 pounds, but you've overcome it. He has good plans for you. He has good plans for us. Yeah. But now once we understand that he has good plans for us, we got to do the work. Yeah. We cannot just be blessed with what he has given us and turn our back on him and just focus on this life. Focus on what I said earlier, what I didn't like about a certain industry. I didn't like the show and tell, like, good. Because if I would have what I have today back then, I would have blown it up. Yeah. But the important part here to me from what I'm listening to you is all of us need to be brave. All of us that know him and have a testimony, we need to come back and talk about him. It's enough that we have been fed certain messages on social media that people are confused about what their sexuality should be. And then I think it's enough for people to say, you don't talk about religion in schools. You don't talk about God in TVs. I think it's time. And it's starting to change a lot. Yeah. There's a lot more people that are becoming vocal. But it's us that, as a family, we got to come together and be grateful for everything that we have been through. Yeah. Instead of fighting it and being angry about it. Because there's so much greater that we can do when we embrace it. Yeah. Than what we have already gone through. And there's so much life that we have ahead of us, dude.
It's funny because, like, for many, many years, and I realize now, like, wow, our minds are nuts how they're designed. But I used to avoid the idea of, like, when my sister got married, it's yay, marriage. And so when my brother got married, it's like, yay. So I asked my mom, I'm like, are you going to pressure me to get married now? She's like, nah, 2 out of 3 is fine, whatever. And I was like, because in my mind, I was like, I'm not worthy of marriage. Like, look who I am. Look what has happened to me. I'm not a worthy husband. Like, why would God want me to have a wife and a kid and a family? Look what's happened to me. And part of me is so happy God has been like, because for many, many years, I've been like, Lord, what are you doing, player? I thought I was your guy. I thought you sent Jesus to die for me. What's going on? He's like, I need you to become who I called you to be first. Yeah. Because the wife, the family, the kids, the dog, the house, the fence, the trees, all that stuff that I have for you, you need to become the person I've created you to be for that. Right now, you've created the anti-version of that. And why would I bless you with your destiny when you're not wanting to be who I created you to be? Yeah. And it's like, well, how do I do that, Lord? You gotta let me really get it. You can't just have me on your porch. Yeah, you can't just have me in the pretty room. You've got to let me see the closet, the basement, where the spider webs are, because that's what really matters. Yeah. And it's like, one day I'm at the gym working out, feeling bad about myself. Like, man, I'm about to be 48. I'm not. What? This is not what I would have thought from my life, Lord. I should. All my friends' kids about to graduate. And God's like, you idiot, you're getting healthy for that. Bro, your life is nowhere near over. It's just starting, dude. What are you talking about? And it was such an encouraging moment, like, you're right. Because I'll be honest, that dude I used to be, I wouldn't want him to be somebody's husband. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want him to be somebody's dad. So it's like, Thank you, Lord, for sparing my life all of these years so you could get me together.
To where I'm today.
Bruh. And so now it's like, somebody told me recently, they're like, this messed me up. They're like, the best problem you can have is being alive.
Oh,
Like,
the best problem you can have is being alive. That's
the greatest problem ever is you woke up this morning. And that messed me up, bro. Because it's like, man, I have nothing to be complaining about right now.
Yeah.
I have nothing to be, like really? And it's like gratitude, forgiveness, faith, and love. Like, to me, it's like those are things that are gifts to us.
Yeah.
Like, God was like, you want a car, I'm trying to give you grace. You want a big house, I'm trying to give you faith.
Yeah.
You want a boat, how about some forgiveness? And the funny thing is, when we seek his kingdom, all those things come with it.
And you don't even realize that they're coming.
So he's like, bro,
Yeah.
like the stuff you still desire, I want you to have. But first I want your heart.
Yeah.
Can I dwell here? And it's interesting. Like, I was telling my best friend, I was like, dude, like, I was at the gym recently, and for the first time in my entire life, I caught a woman looking at me. And I'm like, I could tell she was looking at me because of what she saw.
Okay.
Normally, women were attracted to me because of my personality. I had to be on
Okay.
stage. I had to showcase a feature of what I could be.
I see what you're saying.
But I can't lie, being looked at as a piece of meat was the most rewarding thing I ever saw. I was like, girl, you want to...
Let's go.
How should I turn? How should I... Hey. I was like, what are these women complaining about? This is incredible. I got looked at, like, and I remember I was on the phone with my mom. I was like, Mom, let me tell you something, girl. They looked at me as
They're
a piece
looking
of
at me,
meat.
man.
And I was like, yeah. And it's this thing of, holy cow, it's happening.
It's happening.
The thing that I thought I was unworthy of, the person I thought I could never become, he's been here the whole time. I just didn't
Yeah.
believe he existed. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until God was like, bro, let me remind you who
Yeah.
you are, boy.
And I can relate to that, dude, so much, because for so long I've been trying to make sure that people understand, well, look, I can help you in so many different levels, but it was me trying to do it just for the money. And when I realized, like, you know what, no, let me really look after them. But after I said, you know what, God, you come first, all of these people, all of these relationships, they're now, okay, here they come. Here they come. Now you're getting it. Because I'm first seeking him. Every time I get, every time I wake up, it's like the first words that came out of my mouth when my dad passed away was thank you.
Oh, man.
Like, I said those words when I saw him opening up his eyes for the, so I think I might have shared this with you. So my dad lost his battle to cancer back 3.5 years ago. Okay. So about 9 months before that happened, I started to get the urge to, and I bought my first Bible. The urge to meet Jesus, to come close to God. So I'm reading it because I already felt like something big was coming. And when my dad calls us and he tells us 9 months after me starting to build my personal relationship with God without necessarily being at a church, because I fought church for a long time, dude. I was the type of guy, I'm not going to church. Why do I need to go to church when I probably don't believe in what that person is going to tell me, because they're probably worse. The enemy just putting all these negative thoughts in my head. But then, okay, it gets to the point, and 9 months into reading the Bible, okay, my dad calls us. He's like, hey, guys, I've been diagnosed with cancer. It's final. It's stage 4. And the first things that came in that time when he told us, it was like, whoa, you were prepping me for this. Wow. I knew this was coming all along, and you've been getting me ready. And then it came the next 14, 15 months of the fight, you know? And then it gets to the point that we're at the house all together, surrounding the bed. My cousin Christian, my brother, myself, my dad's friend, and my mom behind me. And my dad opens up his eyes one more time. He looks at me straight up. And I said, you can go. It's okay. His body, finally, he let go of that body. And the minute I saw his body just lose the life, thank you, God. Like, thank you. You know how many people go through something like that and they fight it? They're angry, they're mad. There's 2 ways to go through sorrow. And both ways are going to be painful. There's no way around it. You're going to hurt because you just lost somebody. But in one side, there's God. And in one side is just you and your own understandings. Wow. I said, God, I'm so blessed that you came to me before this happened, because you were prepping me. Thank you, Lord. I remember hugging my dad's friend. I said, thank you, Jesus. I trust you, Jesus. And I love you, Jesus. I don't even know how those words came out through my heart. But it's the person that God is prepping us all along, because from there started the transformation in my personal and in my business life too. You know, it's like when I said it's time for me to come closer to God in my business, it's like, okay, words that I've never said before. I'm talking to David when we had the office in Yorba Linda. He's telling me like, so what's next, Tony? I don't even know how this came out of my heart. Now we get close to God. He looks at me, what? Well, now we get close to God. It's like God has an amazing way to fulfill everything that we want, but it's got to be right. And before it to be right, it means us, our heart's got to be right. We got to be ready to make sure that when He blesses us with everything that He's going to give us, we're not going to use it for the bad. Because that is the one thing that we got to remember too, is the devil is just around us, looking for the opportunity to come and take our business, take our life, but also is how can he use all the people around us and use us to do the evil. And when you don't understand the difference between the spiritual realm and the real world in this life, it's like you will tend to let the balance be more inclined to this life versus the spiritual side. But dude, it's been to me amazing how God has prepped me all these years, that now I understand it. And I understand it because I see it. And I see it because I came to Him. So it's like, dude, you really are awesome. It's like personal situations that I thought I was going to lose everything. It's like, no, it's like, what do you got to lose? Nothing. Nothing belongs to me. It all belongs to Him. But yet, if I align my heart with Him, and I ask for redemption with Him, and I ask for forgiveness for those that have already hurt me, for those that I have already hurt, they may not forgive me, but yet I'm seeking the redemption with God, because He has, like you said earlier, how do we know if we're going to go to heaven? First is because I accepted His gift. I've accepted it, and it's so amazing to see how simple it is. You just gotta accept it. It's like, Ercel, here's $1 million. Are you gonna take it?
I'll take it.
Okay, Ercel, here's salvation from God. Are you gonna take it?
Praise God.
That's all you gotta do. We gotta accept it, but that doesn't mean we're done. That means there's work to be done. And the work to be done is that of becoming close to Him, making sure that we allow our flesh to be controlled by Him, not by our thoughts, not about our emotions. And from there, everything else that we desire, when we don't seek it, when we don't go after it, oh, wait a second, where did this come from? Well, isn't this what you were praying 10 years ago for? Oh, yeah. Well, here it is. Why now? Because now you're ready. Because now you know how to manage a relationship. Now you know how to be a father, and hopefully everybody will learn how to be a father. Now you can manage a business. Now you can lead others to me. Now you understand it's not about the zeros in your bank account. It's about the lives that you get to touch along the way, that you get two options. You can either bring them to me, or you can just take advantage of them and spit them out. But I see that you're no longer doing that. So now I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you with an opportunity to build relationships like the ones I'm building with you right now. But none of that would have happened if I would have kept on walking on the wrong side. And all of us are doing it. And every day, the minute we step out of the house, the minute we wake up, it's the beginning of the fight. Because the biggest problem that we can have is to be alive.
Come on.
What you just said. But how do you make that problem into a blessing? The minute I wake up is, thank you, dude. Thank you, Lord. Instead of waking up, and sometimes I'm not saying every day that I do it, but sometimes I'm guilty. It's like I wake up, my alarm goes off, I'm like, here I go. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you, Lord. And it's so simple, but yet a lot of people fight it. A lot of people don't believe in Him because it's what we eat on social media, what we eat in our families. But He's so real because it's what we eat on social media, what we eat in our families. But He's so real as getting slapped, like as the slap that we saw on TV from Will Smith. It's bringing it back down to comedy. Like that slap was real, whether they might have acted or not. He slapped Jesus out of them. He slapped them. But that's how real God is, man. It says every day you decide to come in and put everything on His feet. It's like He's gonna bless you, man. He's gonna bless us.
That was when that happened. I can't lie. I was just.
Was that acted or was that legit? Do you think?
Based on how Chris Rock responded, because at first I thought it was like scripted.
Okay.
But the way Chris Rock responded, and then the way people who know Chris Rock responded to it, I'm like, oh, this was real. This wasn't a script. Like how people begin to weigh in.
Okay.
And I think the way Chris just remained silent about it, I was like, man, he got slapped. Like he got straight. He got straight. like, let me put some powder on this. Like, and I'll be honest.
Some makeup on that.
I remember one of the last fights I won, because the last fight I got into, I lost terribly.
Like physical fight?
The last physical fight that I it was my last year of high school, and this dude had broke into my dorm room and stole some stuff from me. And I confronted him, and I got the stuff, and when he handed it to me, I was so furious that he had it. Because at first I didn't think he had it. But I remember I just slapped him. And I remember after it all ended, whatever, we made up, it was, whatever. We're kids,
Yeah.
But I just remember one of my boys, he was like, man, when you slapped him like that, you broke his heart, bro. You should have punched him. Because it's like a punch is expected, but he was like, you should, and there's something just, when a dude gets slapped by a dude in private, it's embarrassing. But on national TV like that, and now the world is talking about your cheek.
Oh, man.
Like to me, it's like, everyone immediately started talking about, Will Smith was manipulated by his wife. Blah, blah, blah. My heart went out to Chris because he had to continue to host that show.
Yeah.
He was like, wow. And this is how I knew it was real. He said, wow, I just got the slapped out of me by Will Smith. I was like, the level of composure, the level of professionalism, and he even said, he's like, what was I supposed to do? I'm hosting, what was it, the Emmys or the Oscars? I forgot
what it was.
He's like, what am I supposed to do? Fight him back? Like I'm hired to host a show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to keep your composure.
After you just got slapped like that.
Well, I remember one time I was on stage and I'm telling a joke, and I was not. Let me be very clear. I was not at a level of skill set. Like I did not deserve the show I was booked for. Okay. I should not have ever gotten that show. But I get booked onto the show. I get out there. It was my first traveling gig. I took a Greyhound bus to Cincinnati, Ohio from Nebraska, and I'm on this show that I shouldn't have been on because I just wasn't funny enough for that level.
Okay. Who was on the lineup? You remember?
It was. Gary Owens was the host.
Okay.
And Chad Ochocinco, it was like, this is when he was a wide receiver. This when he was playing for the Bengals.
Okay.
So the show was Two Funny Tuesdays, and it was basically Chad Ochocinco night.
Okay.
He was the draw. It was a Tuesday night, but it was sold out because he was NFL wide. I get there. And my corny butt, I get on stage, I'm like, hey everybody, how you guys? And they're just like, okay, whatever. So I get to my first joke, fails.
Okay.
Second joke, fails. So I get to the third joke, and I'm like, so I'm from Nebraska, right? And someone in the back row says, then take your ass back. Boo! Right? And I'm like, wait, no. And so it the boos caught like wildfire. It started off in the back row, then it went to the middle section. And before I know it, the front row is boo, right? And I'm just like, no, wait, it's gonna get better. No, I'm funny, I promise, I'm funny. Next thing you know, my mic gets cut off, the music comes on, and it's like, next thing you know, Gary Owens gets back on stage, and how they introduced me, the introduction was, you all are in for a treat. This guy took a Greyhound bus from Omaha to be here tonight. Give it up. So that's how they introduced me. So when he grabs the mic from my hand, I get off stage. He's like, he rode a Greyhound bus for 16 hours for that. And the crowd
Everybody
goes
went
nuts. And then for the next, and so then he had to fill my time. So he goes on for the next 27 minutes clowning me. I'm in the green room right now. I'm in the green room with the headline and the other guy. We're watching the show from the green room, and his entire set is bagging on me.
Oh my God! And
this is the first night of like a 2-night, 3-night run. So I'm sitting here just like, and they're looking at me like, you buster. The show ends, whatever. My manager calls me, and she's like, how did it go? I'm like, they booed me off stage. And she was like, yeah, I know. What you gonna do about it? And the next night I was on stage and I finished and killed it, murdered it.
Same jokes,
same jokes, same night, just same, killed it.
So what was different? What was the difference?
She was like, you've experienced the ultimate humiliation. and now you have no fear. Now you've experienced the thing every comedian dreads experiencing. And she was like, that was my test to see if you had the chops. And I remember she said, right before we hung up the phone, she was like, congratulations, Ercel. Now you can finally call yourself a comedian. And I think about that moment. I think about Chris Rock, like, wow, like to have that type of a humiliating moment where the world celebrated it for months and to stay there quiet. And what was his return? The stage.
Yeah.
Chris came back and did his set.
He did.
And it's like, yo, like to me, it's like, I think those are moments that are separators. A lot of folk would have, rightfully so, would have dissipated into the shadows and let me come out with the movie. Let me try to, how did he return? The craftsman that we know him as.
Yeah.
And I think those are moments of like two big things. It's like, number one, what is your emotional intelligence with yourself?
Right.
Do you really know who you are?
Right.
Because in that moment, I feel bad for him, but he knew who he was. He didn't need to respond. He didn't need to justify. He didn't need to explain.
I was
Chris
thinking
Rock.
he was going to punch him. I was thinking,
Bro.
I was watching that thing. I'm like, I'm about to watch a brawl right now.
Bro, and Chris Rock is from New
didn't,
York.
dude.
Like those New Yorkers are on a different level. But my thing is like, yo, he went through the biggest humiliation.
That's true.
And now it's one of those things where it's like, I don't even like I don't think that anymore when I think. There was a time I was like, man, Chris Rock got smacked. Poor Chris. But I think that's a demonstration of like, yo, like he really is who he says he is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's inspiring. Like I think there's always space for the bounce back. No moment is too big for who you are.
That's so
and
true.
Who you can be.
That's so true.
And it's like my man is like, yo, if Chris Rock were to walk into the room right now, we'd be oh my heart.
Yeah.
We'd be starstruck. We wouldn't
Yeah.
think Will Smith slapped you. That probably would be the like. Now I'd be eventually it would come to mind.
Yeah.
Eventually I might want to have the courage to ask.
But that put him back on
But
the
in
stage,
that moment,
man.
it's like, yo.
he bounced back from everything. That is so true, man. The way you just positioned that, and that goes to anybody being in business, and you're going through. You're losing money. Okay, you're building your character.
What's the
now?
bounce back?
Let's see how you're gonna come out of it.
Yeah.
You come out of it calm and commissive, and you just try to understand what is happening, and you keep on reinventing different opportunities for the business to come back. It's like, okay, now you're ready for the next. Now you're ready to go from 1 million to 3 million, from 3 to 7. But it's always going to be opportunities to learn how to get through the certain problem that we have right now. And either you take advantage of it or you let it drown you.
Yeah.
How did you start it, dude? Comedian? How?
I was always the funny dude. I was always the class clown. The first time I got on the mic, my mother describes me as a baby. I was always singing. She was like, you would be, I don't know what you would be singing about, but you'd be in your crib. You'd always be moving, and you'd always be laughing to yourself. You'd always be giggling to yourself. I've always been the funny guy. And when I was in Nebraska, there was this, her name was Angela McFarling. I was in love with Angela McFarling, and I had an opportunity to host a comedy show. And when they were presenting it to me, she was in the room. And when I saw how she looked at me, I was like, oh, I'm going to get to impress Angela? Sign me up. I'd never done stand-up before. They were like, you've got to go to open mic to prove that you can do actual stand. You're funny you're funny, but stand-up and being funny are not the same thing. Can you prepare to be funny? So anyway, did the show, killed it, and caught the bug, bro.
Yeah.
There was something about seeing people anticipate what I was going to share with them, and me knowing where it was going and watching them on that journey.
Okay.
Oh, there's nothing like knowing the joke and seeing how people respond to it. And then the discovery of, it was therapy, first of all. I could flesh out all my issues on stage with some humor. The discovery that pain is the ultimate connector, because if you can laugh at your, like Kevin Hart's Laugh at My Pain was a brilliant title, because I feel like most comedians are able to look at a situation and I have the comeback, the stand-up comeback is on the way. And part of my jokes, like I go back to that incident when I was 8, and I've written a bunch of material around that incident, because they say there's certain things you can't joke about. I disagree. This is my life. You can't tell me what I can talk about. And I think the joy of comedy is it allows you to examine your life through a different lens, and then you get to share that experience. Like The cool thing about stand-up, most comedians, they're touring around the country telling the same jokes, but region to region, people are different. Like Californians are very uptight in compared to Nebraskans.
Really?
So you can get away with things in Omaha that LA, they're like, whoa!
Everybody gets upset about it.
So learning how to craft the same story differently was my fun. How can I tell this joke this way because when I'm in San Diego versus when I'm in Kansas versus when I'm in like, and then the flip was, and this is what I realized, like, it was an outlet. Like, people would show up to these shows, bro, and people would come up to me after shows, and it didn't happen all the time, but the few times it did, it was like, wow, like, folks would come up, because Omaha has the Children's Hospital there, and Boys Town. And so you'd have families from all over the country in Omaha because they're dealing with some tragic family stuff. And our comedy club was literally 3 exits down. So we were always at, so we'd leave the set, we'd be out smoking cigarettes on the patio, and you'd have these fathers come up like, yo man, like my 8-year-old has stitches in his head right now. He's going through chemo and we just needed a break, yo. And I just want to thank you for giving me an escape from my world.
Wow.
And you're like, what? That joke about me being fat and farting took what? Did what? The realization that I have an opportunity to bring some joy to somebody, that just blew my mind. And I think that was probably what intimidated me the most. Am I worthy of this? I'm a terrible person because I'm just trying to get girls and drink alcohol. I don't really care about what, this is for me. And the realization that, no, bro, this isn't for you. It's for them, dude. It's for them,
serving.
Bro. It's like, it's for them. And like that was my, and here's the sad thing about it. I didn't have that revelation until a few years ago. Like, bro, like, and that's really what motivated me to want to get back on stage. I'm like, all right, God, I see what you did here.
When was the last time you were on stage?
It's been since I've been on stage, like doing it. It's been since before I moved out here. I moved to California and stopped doing stand-up. I officially stopped professionally doing stand-up maybe 15 years ago. But I've done like some open mics here and there. But as far as like actually writing new jokes with an intention and a purpose.
Would you ever get back?
Oh yeah. I've never stopped writing.
Okay.
My notes on my iPhone are filled with I have so many jokes. I just need to go through and actually find them all. But my like I said, people are my thing.
Okay.
I love people, dude. Like people are, and for whatever reason, people love me. And it's this two-way street of like, I love seeing you filled with joy, and if I get to be a part of it, yes. And the discovery that is a gift that I think humor breaks all. I think music is one of the big things, but humor, if you can make someone laugh, their walls are down.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And to me, it's like I've discovered that 99% of people are walking around with their walls up and they're guarded as heck.
Yeah.
They're protecting themselves. But if you can get somebody to go, that's the most vulnerable your body can be.
Yeah.
And that's a gift I took for granted. And I'm still the funniest guy in the room. I'm still that guy. Next to Kevin Anderson. Kevin Anderson, Kevin, you're the funniest guy in the crew. I'm second. I need to just make sure, because Kevin Anderson, you're the funniest one. But outside of Kevin, like Kevin's years ahead. I don't know how that dude, but anyway, you'll meet Kevin one day. But outside of Kevin Anderson, I feel like I'm the funniest guy on the planet. But I feel like only because God's called me to be that guy. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that season of my life is not over. I feel like that season is still on the way.
Have you started to identify how you come back, when you come back? Or right now your focus is what you're doing with your business, with the church, with your journey?
I feel like it's going to come in moments like this and in moments of connection of... But as far as like me, like the ultimate thing is I just need to go hop on a mic. Like there's so many of them. I just, and that's probably been where there's been reluctancy. But every time I talk about it and say it out loud, it's almost like, bro, what are you doing? Like right now I feel dumb because I haven't taken action on it. Because it's like, bro,
it's
like go
timing,
do it.
Dude. It's not
it's like...
You know the right time will be when you actually start to make some things happen.
Yeah.
A lot of the time there's a lot of things that I want to do and they sound like great ideas. But I don't do them because it's just not the right time. Yeah. So don't push it, don't rush it. You'll know when it's the right time to do it. You'll know. I want to be there though. I will definitely want to be there. I had no idea, dude, man, honestly.
It was comedy. It was such a fun thing because it was a great people experiment. I'd get off stage, and let me be very clear. I was performing for fear. I just wanted to meet women, take them to the hotel, and drink and do like seriously.
Sounds like me playing music, dude.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Who can I meet? Who can I bring back? How much alcohol can I consume? Is there weed? That was the extent of my comedy career. I wasn't selling merch. I wasn't max. I was just like, who's coming home tonight? And it's like, God's like, bro, you use this incredible gift for sheer evil. Like, bro, like, where were you? So it's like, for me, it's like I want to experience it with real intentions and good intentions. And it's like, the cool thing was, like, you get on stage and you share your personal life with people. You make them laugh. They feel super connected to you. So it was so easy to manipulate it into a night of sex because they feel like they know you and can trust you. And you've made them laugh for 30 minutes. So they love you.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it's like, man, imagine if I had something worthwhile to give them, and imagine if I wasn't trying to take something precious from them. Like, imagine if it was like, yo, let's take a hug, let's take a picture. Hey, God bless you, let's pray. Who knows what'll happen? But let me have good intentions with you.
Yeah.
Versus, what's your name again, girl? Hey, you know I'm only in town for one night, right? Hey,
you knew the play
that's
already.
Not the purpose.
Yeah, no.
So
that's one of the reasons why I started doing music. I got tired of that lifestyle, dude. It was nice to play at the House of Blues, all these cool places. It was so fun to have the one night stands, never having to see them again, to get the cocaine handed over for free, get the weed for free. I didn't have to worry about a thing.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I got tired of it.
Dude.
I got to, I'm like, no, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And that's one of the reasons why, up to this day, I still don't want to go and play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of, to that extent, I'm kind of like, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because people have asked me, do you want to play again? I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't miss playing music at all.
Yeah.
But it was because I did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, like now we go to service, we go to church, I go to Palm, and then I see all these guys playing music and they're worshiping him. Like, oh, that's a different way to see it. That's a different perspective. But I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm not ready to get behind my drum set. I'm really not. I'm happy where I'm at today. To me, it's like, okay, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, bringing it back to that. So, but I think if it is in your heart, you're mature. You obviously got God now in you. He's guiding you. And if you get back to going back in that stage, man, you know you're not going to go back to that. Yeah. You know, it'll be different. It'll be interesting to see how people take, oh, you want to talk about God? Like, you know?
Yeah, it's...
But no, man, you've definitely been blessed with an amazing gift, man. That is a talent.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days, one way for you to come back to it, do something special, intimate, because I'm pretty sure people will come. People that know you will come. Yeah. And whatever you bring into the doors, donate it to a charity. Yeah. Like, don't touch anything, but just commit it with a purpose. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. That would be fun.
That would be dope. It's
something very intimate.
Yeah,
you don't have to go all out like you did in the past. Yeah. Just go ahead and touch that water one more time.
Come on.
Dip those toes in there.
Yeah. It's I firmly believe it's going to happen just because the desire hasn't left. And I think I also just want to do it because I want to approach it with no barriers or like I played it very safe. Like I had like 2 notebooks. I had the stuff I performed and the stuff I wanted to do but was just afraid to do. They're not going to be ready for this. They're not going to be able to handle this versus, so let me just keep it light. Let me do what I think they want me to do. And my best friend, his biggest feedback was always, man, like, why don't you just get on stage and be you? Don't be the character you created because they like that character, but they don't know you. Yeah. And I know you, bro. And you were funnier here than when you were up there. And you're hilarious there. But if they just knew you, but back then I was like, but me, I'm this. They don't want the real me. I don't want the real me. But now it's like, wait a second.
Now you love that person you see in the mirror. Now you learn to love that person. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let me show up as who I'm supposed to be. Yeah. And if there's intention and purpose behind it, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. And if the glory is pointed to God, respectfully, He promised He's going to get His glory. Yeah. And if I get to be a vessel for that,
you're kidding me? You get to be a disciple? You get to practice the Great Commission? Come on.
Yeah.
That is the best thing, dude. That is one of the things that I love about the presentations that I get to do. It's like I'm throwing them in there. Here comes my punch joke. Yeah. It's scripture. Yeah. It's not a joke, but it's like I get to do this and people are listening.
Yeah.
Because they're not. It's not coming from a religious stand. It's not coming from a church. It's not coming from a pastor. It's coming from some random guy who is blessed with a business, and his business is blessed because of God, and he's telling me all these things. So I see how people get the message.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always tell everybody is like, well, we're in the United States. I used to be an illegal alien, but one thing that I learned is like, well, there's freedom of speech, there's freedom of religion. So I'm just gonna share with you guys what has helped me. Like, people are listening to the message, and I notice when I'm talking about God, it's like people are seeing it differently. To me, it's like, dude, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I've always had a vision of me talking in front of a lot of people on the stage about God and business. Well, I got invited to go speak in Houston next month. I'm going to talk in front of about 200 agents, 250 agents.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what's coming, but I know.
Yeah.
Like, I know the presentation. I already know when the scripture is going to come in. I have it all there because I've seen this 2-3 years back. So once again, it's you have your crossers pointing the right direction, dude. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, do it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going back to who you used to be.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm not going back to who I used to be. One thing that helped me is I decided to get baptized again, because the first time I was baptized, I was as a Catholic, as a baby.
Yeah.
I don't remember that day, but after my dad passed away about 2.5 years ago, I'm like, you know what? I was flying back from Texas, and I'm at the airport, and it just felt it in my heart, like, I want to get baptized. I'm like, where's this coming from? I don't know, but I want to get baptized. I got baptized, and I understand it's like that guy that used to have drugs, sex, and cocaine, and think about adultery, and think about porn, and like, that person's not here anymore. Like, legitimately, or so, like, I don't have those desires anymore. Yeah. They completely washed out. So it's like, man, this is so cool. Like, I want people to get to see this person. Like, I want to use this platform so that people get to know me. And the cool thing is, I'm saying the same thing I said earlier, but it's like, it's that dude up there, man.
Yeah.
And you gotta use your talent.
Yeah.
On his right time, you'll know when to do it. If you ever want to use my office, we do something intimate. You bring people in. Just do it, man. Stop thinking about it. It's time for you to get just a little push off the edge. You're ready. Yeah. You really are ready to come back, man. It's different.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dude, we can keep on going and going and going.
Yeah.
But I think people have had enough.
They're like, well, these guys. Have you had enough? No. This is the intermission. No.
Well, they're going to have a drink.
We're going to wardrobe change.
We'll be right back.
Some sponsors. We'll be right back. Get some popcorn.
Thank you. This podcast was sponsored to you by Leto Financial.
Right.
It was sponsored to you by TG Consulting. It's sponsored by
SoCal Video Creations.
Ercel. But thank you, brother. It's been a pleasure to have you here. This was not a podcast. This is just a conversation that we got to record.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get to do it again.
Definitely.
If you ever want to come back, if there's anything I can do to help you out, just let me know, dude, honestly. For the time being, I'm so grateful that you did this.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you guys out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go out there and make disciples of others.
Yeah.
Have a blessed day.
Take care, guys.